Happy New Year's, guys! It's me, Alana B, and I put together a super secret surprise for both you, our loyal listeners, and Scott. If you haven't been over to our YouTube channel, go check us out. It's at the @ Gilded Trash, GILDED Trash, on YouTube. You can also find video versions of most of our episodes, along with some pretty fun reels that Scott and I each created throughout the year. So head on over to YouTube and check us out at Gilded Trash.
Oh, that's fine. Hey, she's sad. Hey, welcome. Yeah, that's what I think. Who do you think's going to win? Well, you heard it there first, folks. Chiefs.
Is that what she said?
That's exactly what she said. This is sort of like a Groundhog Day, Groundhog Whisperer scenario. I'm like, Punxsutawney Phil, but she's Super Bowl salad.
Okay, then. Well, Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Happy New Year. No, we're back. We're doing a little different format here, though.
Yeah.
We're trying out some new things. I'm on location.
In the Super Bowl room.
I'm on location in the Super Bowl room. We're live here, folks. This is Bob Graffiti, and we're going to talk to Super Bowl Sally up next. Come back and see it. We're with Terry Bradshaw.
Tell the people who'd you just say? What's his name?
Bob Graffiti.
Yeah, who is that?
Bob Graffiti is a character based on Marv Albert. Remember the guy that biting people? He was biting hookers or something. It was
ladies' underwear was a thing with him.
Yeah, he was wearing like stockings, and he went to bite a hooker. I don't know. Somehow he got his job back. That was back in the days when you could bite a hooker and get your job back 2 years later. But you know,
I love it.
Now they frown upon that. But yeah, he was based on Marv Albert. Yes, little next door. And I would broadcast games. I would get a tape recorder, and I was the first podcaster. I was podcasting games. No, but I would record. So I would do the commentary. I would watch the TV with no commentary. Well, I would actually have it on a little bit because I still needed to hear it, just because it's weird to watch things without commentators. But I would do wrestling. I would do, basketball, football, whatever. And then I would listen to it later. As if, for some reason, I would also tape TV shows because we weren't allowed to watch TV after a certain time. So I would tape my favorite shows like Home Improvement, Spin City, and I would have a tape, and we would listen to those tapes, in my stereo rather than I didn't have the TV on. So that was my way of getting around that. It all started when Matt got a Talkboy from Home Alone 2. And when that's what started the recording of television, because it was just on. We had tapes and tapes and tapes for days. We had Big Daddy on cassette tape later.
Oh my God.
That's how I know the beginning song where it's like, it's like a weird thing. It's like the phone ringing. It's like playing in the background. I'll put it on here.
Because his dad's leaving a voicemail, I think, in the beginning. Yeah, or something like that. I'm with you. Okay. So, feels like nothing's changed since last year. What's been going on in the last 6 weeks or so?
Well, we got the Super Bowl here. What do you mean what's changed? We got a new president.
Ooh,
We've got lots of, I don't know. I mean, stuff happened.
Shit happens.
I don't keep track. I don't watch the news.
Neither do I. I watch it on TikTok. That's where I get all
you still watch something. I have no clue. Biden could still be in there for all I know. I haven't kept up.
So did you see this clip of Barron going up to Biden, Barron Trump going up to Biden at the inauguration?
Yeah. Yeah.
and he leans in.
He leans in and whispers.
Yeah.
And he
And
says, I'll never forget you, sweet cheeks.
is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said. They had a
There's
relationship. They were
speculation.
in Nambla together.
There's speculation that he said you forgot to pardon yourself.
I mean, there's a lot of speculation that he said a lot of things, but I'd like to think it was probably, I think Barron's smart enough to realize that Biden ain't all there. So I don't think it was probably, I think people are reading too much into it. I think he was just probably being a nice kid.
He seems like a nice kid. I
They were
like him.
very formal about the whole thing. It's not like they were up there like, fuck Biden, suck it. Like, they were very formal about the whole thing, and they seemed nice to him and stuff. So, like, I don't think that there was, there was a mode of decorum.
Agree.
What do you think?
And she tries not to think too much. I know what. Doge. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk.
I
There's
don't
lots
like
of
that word.
controversy. Doge. I know. It sounds like
So stupid.
it
So
is.
dumb. They need it. Why? Just so dumb. But people are up in arms about it. Here's the thing is I think nobody even knows what's like going on. So like, it's just all rumors of one person saying this person's doing this. And then the other side's like, oh, we're not doing that. And typical bullshit.
No, I get it. I get it. But have you seen any of the lists of the things that they found that we paid for?
Yeah. And some of them I'm really upset about. Because like they want to cut the $50 million that we pay to help Colombian cartels
Oh
smuggle
my.
cocaine across the border.
What will you
And
do
I
without
like,
your
what the
cocaine?
hell are you doing? Slow your roll, bub. I don't
So
like
what you're
it.
saying is we need cocaine in this country.
Oh, 100%. If they would cut off, that's like the whole thing with the Colombians. That's how they got, like, this is one thing that you don't know. I was reading this whole thing about, the whole thing with Colombia. First off, it was way misrepresented in the media on both sides. Like, I read, like, the real, like, deal story of it. And, like, but that's what the Colombians should have done, is just taken a hard line. Like, listen, we'll cut that pipeline off tomorrow, pal. Like, and no more cocaine for USA. Nah, that ain't gonna fly. You kidding me? We took drugs out of this country would fall apart tomorrow. There's just so many people involved in the business and on all sides of it. And then the people do it at like the end game. Like, look how many, like, the stockbrokers would be forced to try to get Adderall prescriptions. It would, I mean, the country would be chaos. I don't understand the thinking there.
Well, no, I've asked my boss at work several times, like, are we in the business of keeping Americans employed? Because I feel like the healthcare industry, like the healthcare admin industry, is overpadded with workers, and there's no progress in the systems that are processing claims.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, that goes to every business. Like, not like every business has, of course, its number one purpose is to continue the business. Like, whatever that
Right.
business is, whether it's drugs, whether it's, but you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, whether it's, drugs, steel, coal, gas, oil, electricity, like every business has a self-interest, obviously. So, like, of course, they want to try to keep that model of, whatever it is that's working, because then, you know what I mean? Because it just gives them more, because then they can say, like, the more people you employ, they can be like, oh, look, when they're lobbying, they say, look, we employ 100,000 people in our company alone. You know what I mean? What are you going to do without those jobs? And then they rattle off more statistics of whatever, like 50 million people work in healthcare. Well, that's ridiculous.
Right. Well, so
I'm
speaking
not
of the
saying that's
gas,
50 million is not the number, but
No, I know. But so we started watching that show Landman, and he talks about that in that show where like, yeah, like is gas the end game? No, but it's the only game we have right now that has a foreseeable future where we can control the outputs like from here, from the United States.
Right. Well, and a lot of these things too, and this is what I mean, they probably should have been a little more upfront with that in this terms of like, well, Trump did say it, but like after the fact is like a lot of these changes, I mean, it's going to hurt for a little bit, but that's the only way that you really get to self-sustaining and stuff like you have to place stressors on the market
Yeah.
in order for things to happen in certain ways. So it's like, yeah, but like, again, it goes back. I compare this a lot to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Like, we need to fire Mike Tomlin. And they're always like, well, who are you going to get that's better? But that's the most ridiculous argument that I've ever heard. That's like saying, just in this situation, you don't want to go through any kind of growing pains in order to have a brighter future.
Right.
That's asinine. That's ass backwards. It's upside down.
Speaking of Steelers, what have we been watching all day today?
Well, we just got done watching Ben Roethlisberger lead the Steelers to victory against the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry to spoil the Super Bowl for you now. Yeah, no, we watched the whole game replay actually, which was kind of fun because I like the NFL film ones where they're like, Ben Roethlisberger led the Steelers down the field on the final drive. But it wasn't. But I like the ones where it's like the actual game call. I wanted to hear Madden. That was Madden's last game that he called. And you heard it. He said, when they were reviewing that touchdown, he said, I don't care if you look at it upside down, inside out, that's a touchdown.
Are you talking about the Harrison one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, I don't care if you look at it upside down, inside out.
I love it.
And he also, like, that's what I love about John Madden. He also like had like he believed that a guy should just get a touchdown on effort because he's like, look at that. He's like, guy gets a play like that, runs it back, he deserves a touchdown. As if like he didn't make it. It didn't matter. Like he didn't care because he deserved it. That's what I love about John Madden. He understood the game.
Who do you got for today's game?
I mean, I think that Eagles defense is going to be too much for Mahomey and company.
I'm with you. I think the Eagles might pull it off. From a girl's perspective though, from a woman's perspective, I love the Mahomes family. I love the Kelsey family minus one of the girlfriends. But at the end of the day, it's not about family. It's about winning. And I'm a Pennsylvania girl, so I'm sticking with the Eagles.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, so a couple of our listeners have asked how they can get in touch with us. One way is to check out our YouTube channel, which is at Gilded Trash on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. You can comment on any of the videos. Another way is Buzzsprout. It's at gildedtrash.com, where you can interact with us by sending us fan mail. If you log into gildedtrash.com, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and you can submit any questions there. You could also email me directly, Alana, ALANNA, at gildedtrash.com, or you can look for us on social media, and that's way too many handles to mention.
This holding the microphone like this really makes me feel like a reporter in the field, and I like it. I do have to say.
You like it?
But yeah, no, I feel that so here's my thinking is like the Eagles defense is really good. You've seen that. We've seen that, in multiple games, and the fact that so here's the thing is they could shoot it out with KC if they have to. Let's say their defense sucks and they just have to score points. Like Kansas City's defense, I don't think is going to it's not going to stop the Eagles all out. KC's defense is pretty good, but I mean, the Eagles just have so many weapons. But No, I think this is going to be a battle of attrition. Honestly, in the sense that, like, I think that both teams' strategy is going to be to just put long, sustained drives together, trying to keep the other team off the field. You know, I always say my favorite saying in football is the best defense is good offense. One that's
You
able to
sound
take
like
time.
you sound like you're auditioning.
I mean, this is just what I do. That's how good I am at it.
It's great. It's great.
You
And it's
know
going to
that
be a high.
already. This is how I talk to you in a normal day, whether I'm talking about,
Right.
like,
I'm
this
just
is the
going to hand him a
breakdown I give you.
microphone.
What?
I'm just going to hand you a microphone while we're sitting around all day. I love it. And it's going to be a high scoring game, right? Because if it's not, you lose money.
It's going to be what?
High scoring game.
I mean, here's the thing is, like, it's hard to put together outrageous bets without hoping for a large offensive, big offensive game. Because, like, all the action on betting is on people doing things. Like, so the way that you build up those outrageous parlays is by people doing things. If it's a defensive battle that's like 7-3, it's there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people.
I know. I'll be bored
I mean,
if it's low scoring.
unless you're betting high stakes, that's a different story. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put a $2 bet in and hit for $300.
All right. So let's talk about our favorite subject. What kind of food are we having for today's Super Bowl party? Oh, I might have to cut that out and say the big game. What are we having for the big game tonight, babe?
Did you think I was frozen?
I did.
Oh, that was good. Um, um, we're
Why's your,
having brisket. I smoked
why's
a
your
brisket.
face turning red?
Let's talk about that brisket a little bit because it did get away from me. The last brisket I made super didn't like. I normally in my smoker, like a 7 to 8 pound piece of brisket takes about 18 hours, and today it took about 12. And last night, yeah. And the only thing that I can come up with is it's that beautiful layer of fat that I put on the bottom. And it just allowed that something to happen with the moisture. And no one knows what exactly happened out there, but it was a magical thing.
It's a
It
brisket mystery.
was brisket history. Brisket history made right
It
here
might be
out
brisket
on that
history.
front
It's
porch.
damn good.
No, but it does taste really good. We're going to have brisket you're making. This is what I'm most excited for, these Philly cheesesteak balls.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know, we here in the Reed household are the master of balls.
We're the ball kings and
We're the
queens.
ball kings of East Moxham. No, but seriously, we always are making some kind of balls, whether it's meatballs, sausage crab balls, the balls that you make with the pizza stuff in them, or the breakfast like stuff, the sausage. But the ones today are going to be Philly cheesesteak
And
for the Eagles.
they are going to be Eagleceptional is what they are going to be, because we took real steak, maybe not porterhouse. It was just like
No,
chuck
it was,
steak.
I picked out ones. So I don't necessarily look at the cake. Well, the cake. I don't
The
necessarily
cup.
look at the cake. I don't necessarily look at the cut when I'm buying steak. I mean, I do, because I'm a steak procurer of epic proportions. And so as a meat enthusiast, I look for the ones with the best marbling, regardless of cut. Because sometimes at the grocery store, these cows, I don't know where they be getting them from, but Mexico or something. We need to get back to American farm and American beef. And because these Mexican cows, man, they're marbling. It might be the shoulder blade cut. It'll just be looking beautiful. And then you'll get the ribeye and there'll be hardly anything. I don't get it.
Either way, he ran it through the meat processor, ground it up, and I laid it up with all kinds of spices. And it's been marinated in the spice overnight. And I'm going to throw a little clip up here later when I'm finished of the finished project. Everything's a project to me. The finished project is going to be so it's beef and mozzarella and onion and Bisquick, and make it all, mash it all up into little balls and bake them in the oven, and they are going to be tasty. The only thing I haven't decided on yet is whether or not I'm going to make like a horseradish dip to go with.
I mean,
Right?
I don't know though. Honestly, I probably do some ketchup with some mayonnaise.
Are you making that fancy sauce again?
Just because that's what I like on cheesesteak.
But what
Anyway.
I'm most looking forward to for tonight's big game bonanza is pierogies.
Ooh, from Bubba's.
Bubba's.
In
Bubba's in
Greensburg,
Greensburg.
Pennsylvania.
Bubba's
Bubba's.
Takeout.
Yeah, they are my favorite pierogies.
Yeah.
We stopped by there the other night. Picked up some pizza. Yeah, their pizza's great. That's the beautiful part about it.
It
You're
is
going
good.
there for the pierogies, but then you get the treat of some of the best. Like they call it Detroit deep dish style, but it's its own. I call it Greensburg style because it's unique. Because it is sort of deep dish, but not total deep.
Right.
I call it medium dish pizza.
I like that. I like that. What else
But
did it? Chicken lips.
chicken lips. That's where I was going next. The chicken lips, which they call them chicken lips. They're nothing more than they're boneless wings. They're just chunked up chicken fried in little bites like you get at KFC or Popeyes or wherever. Boneless wings, you get them everywhere. But boneless wings at Taco Bell. Nuggets, whatever you want to call them, it's all the same. It's a hill I will die on. My mom used to do that when we were kids.
What?
Like instead of nuggets, she would just buy
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
breast and chunk them up and fry them. That's like, you know what I mean?
I
How
did
we had
that.
nuggets a lot of times.
My
She
kids
probably would
love
have
my
got,
homemade nuggets.
what's that?
My kids loved my homemade nuggets.
Oh, yeah. But we weren't running around calling them boneless wings. That's some shit the restaurant
Well,
industry.
because nobody was eating wings back then. Like, wings weren't a thing until like the mid to late 80s, I think. Like, where people, I mean, obviously they've always been a thing, right? It's a part of the chicken, but they weren't like coveted. They didn't have their own
They
nights.
didn't have any value. My grandma said they used to give them away. The
Give them to
butchers,
the
you'd be like, you wanted
hogs.
the wings. They'd be like, you want the wings? Take them, bitch. Hey. I don't know why. I don't know why the butcher turned into Andrew Dice Clay right there, but you want the wings that take them, bitch. Oh!
I thought you were going to do that with the chicken lips, chicken cutlets.
But back to their chicken lips. I somehow ended up at Andrew Dice Clay. Back to their chicken lips. They're amazing. They're my favorite like product, like boneless wing. They're my favorite one, like that I've had. They're so good.
Yeah, like hands down the best I've ever tasted because they're not too bready. Think about Sheetz boneless wings, how much crunchy breading. That's great, but I don't want a breading ball. I want chicken.
Right. A lot of boneless wings, they put that like almost like a fried chicken coating in the sense of
Hmm.
like that real, like the crispy fried chicken coating. Like
Right.
if you order the crispy at KFC or something, like where it's lots of crumble on there. What?
I'm just laughing. I feel like there was something else food related we wanted to talk about this week, though. I can't remember. No, I mean, I'm just super excited about tonight's
Yeah.
meal.
I'm excited about those, the kielbasa sauerkraut pierogies. But yeah, just wrap that up there with Bubba's Takeout, Greensburg. The pierogies are phenomenal. So many different choices. You can get them frozen. You can get them deep fried. You can get them boiled. You can get them, however you want them. You can get everything. You get their pizza, get their chicken lips. I've never had anything else there, but I'm sure it's freaking delicious. Next time I'm getting a sausage sandwich, buddy. You better believe it. You'd better believe it.
Well, and they have dessert pierogies too. They have a
Yeah.
strawberries and cream. They have lekvar, which is prune.
Prune
Um,
butter.
yeah, they
Yeah.
have. Do they have an Oreo one? I can't remember.
I think you made.
Oh, I do make Oreo pierogies, but okay, we got to get off food because I'm getting hungry now.
And now I'm thinking, can I eat a brisket?
You can. You certainly can eat a
Oh,
brisket
I'm definitely
sandwich.
going to. Maybe
Um, what else oh, so let's talk with not we. I always say we because like we're like a package, but like you do your own thing and I do my own thing. So you've got some comedy shows coming up. You've got
Yeah.
a
We up next Friday, Valentine's Day, Chess Springs in Chess Springs Tavern in Chess Springs, Pennsylvania. It's up there near Carrolltown somewhere. I don't know how these things work. I'm not from here. I
Northern
don't care.
Cambria, it's referred to
Um,
as.
but and then we got coming up. Is it the 21st?
Yeah.
Is the Railroaders Museum in Altoona? That's going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait for that one. With Scott, Kelly, and Ridge. So that'll be fun. That's who Chess Springs is with too. So that'll be fun. A little terrible trio, Altoona comedians. I guess you could say something like that. Um, uh, but then April 26th, then right here in Johnstown at the Masonic Temple, a charity for mental health, suicide awareness. Going to be on that show. Going to be some really, really good comedians on there coming in from out of town. Going to be a lot of fun. Tickets for that are going to be going on sale real soon, and we'll definitely let you guys know how to get those because it's for a great cause. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking
Yeah,
forward to
and
it.
it's
I'm looking
hosted
forward to doing comedy 2 minutes from my house, literally 2 minutes. I can't wait.
right, and it's hosted by local legend Frank
Local
George
legend Frank George.
of the old By George Inn downtown. His family owned that for years, decades. So I will be promoting the heck out of that. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I got to talk about it. I know I put a little post up about it. But so Casey's in Pittsburgh has reopened not reopened. They're doing a Friday night open mic, and not going to say that somebody tricked the crowd into coming up thinking that they were going to sing karaoke afterwards, but it was a great effing crowd.
We're not going to say that, but someone tricked the crowd into coming up by telling them or karaoke afterwards. Yes, that's exactly what
What?
happened. No, it resulted in about 10
More than
college
that.
age girls sitting in the front 3 rows that, as you expected, like screamed after every little thing. And
Babe is the man. He is
no,
the man. They were so
me personally,
excited.
I didn't like it.
Well,
I
they
mean, it's
loved
great to have
you.
people cheering and stuff, but what I don't like is when you're like yelling at the wrong place. Like, I wanted to lead them, and you can't lead college age girls to yell at the right places.
No, it was fantastic though. I had a blast anyways.
No, it was
So
fun. It was totally fun. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I'm picking a room, I'd rather talk to no one.
right. Um oh, and the other thing, oh, I know. So on our New Year's Eve episode, we alluded to the fact that we were going to be moving to Austin. The results came back, and Mari has found out that that's a lie. Just kidding. We changed our minds like human adults do, and we decided, we being me, no, joking. We decided that the best place for us to be collectively is going to be Nashville. So,
Nashville. Let's go.
Joe Rogan,
Central Tennessee. Let's do it.
I know I was pleading for Pittsburgh. I still stand my ground that Pittsburgh is an awesome comedy spot. But since the rumor's already out there and you already said you were moving, making a comedy mothership in Nashville, go right on ahead. We'll meet
He
you down
didn't.
there in about 6 months.
He toyed with the idea. Let's not go spreading rumors.
That's what I do.
But yes, no, I think that if you're going to do that, that's the best place to do it. No, but it's just it's a fun place. It's a great place. We're having a good time.
That's
And
it. There is such a high potential. So many of the people that we love and respect so much live down there that there's a chance that we could run into anybody. You never know. We could run into Theo Vaughn. We could run into Jelly Roll. We could run into my idol, Bunny. We could run into Sean Brock. Who else?
none of that even matters. The only person I want to be, I'm going to get some leaves to Dusty Slay. I get some leaves to it.
You're going to rake up them leaves and drop them
Break up
off.
them leaves and get them to Dusty. That's silly. No, but it is a great place, filled with food, fun, and family.
I'm looking forward to going back to see my girl Brandy at Hubba Hubba. Even though they're not doing open mics anymore, they're still doing karaoke. So we're gonna hang out.
I'm looking forward to visiting that Buc-ee's that they were building in Kentucky on the way down. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Right.
I think they have we're moving to so you remember we were talking about, I was telling you, we were discussing because we'll discuss this. Tennessee does not have the same laws when it comes to certain things that I enjoy. So I was like, where to go? Anyway, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So I was watching my Alien show last night. I was watching my Alien show last night with my friend Steven, and there's a show on Netflix with George Knapp did some kind of thing. Anyway, one day he's like, and he just out of nowhere, he's like, Cape Girardeau. He's like, in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, there was UFOs. Basically, is what it amounted to. It's a very famous case. Very famous.
So we can continue to pretend like we're gonna UFO hunt someday while we're out there.
Yeah, casino, UFO hunt, weed dispensary. That's true.
All of our vices in one stop. I cannot wait. Yeah.
Maybe we should just move to Cape Girardeau. I'm teasing.
How many open
There's no
mics?
comedy in Cape Girardeau.
Yeah, it does. That's not like a comedy hotspot that I've ever heard of.
You haven't been paying attention.
No, I have not.
Not to the St. Louis scenes. Greg Warren's out there killing it.
Oh my gosh. This is going to be the last time that you have to talk about any gossip or celebrity drama with me that you don't want to, because I'm starting my own show without you and you can't come because it's girls only. And I promised that I was going to leak the name, so I'm going to leak it right now. The podcast is going to be called Trash Panda Social Club. Ooh. And my first episode is going to be a cluck of hens. No, just kidding. It's going to be a group of women who are conservative talking about their open points of view on religion because they're not all Bible beaters and we want to talk about it.
Did you say gaggle of hoes?
Gaggle of hoes, cluck of hens. Yeah. It's all the same thing.
And also, too, we're going to be kind of experimenting with our podcast here moving forward. Guest, because we're moving on to a little bit different format, and you've gotten to know us a little bit, so we're going to be bringing in some guests and just talking shit, not really having necessarily, particular subject that we're going to talk about.
Agreed.
So that's going to be fun. So look out for changes with that. That'll be fun. What else is going on? I want to get into
Well,
dig it. Are you digging into Baldoni or what are you doing? Come on,
I am, because like
let's
I said, this
go.
is the last time that you're stuck talking girl drama with me and gossip.
Well, this isn't girl
Um,
drama. This is straight up man stuff here.
this is man
Baldoni's a man.
stuff. This is man stuff. A
Yeah, it
man
is.
was
It's Baldoni versus Ryan. What
Reynolds.
Reynolds?
Yeah.
My mind went to say Gosling there, and I knew that. My God, I wouldn't do that to my boy. Oh my God.
No, it's Reynolds, the twat waffle from
Yeah,
Canada.
who's always been a cuck and a retard. Freaking, you can bleep all this out.
No, I'm not bleeping it out. What are they going to do? Send a cease and desist on us? They
Yeah,
already
no,
got.
no, no. Yeah, he might. He might. He's saving all that money with Mint Mobile. Um, no, but people have said that he's a bastard to work with for a long time. People have said that. People said he's a real. Who said it? There was one of the. I might have even been on The View. Said, I don't know. I'm saying that. I have no idea. But it was like a woman on a talk show said that, and I feel like it was a famous actress. I don't want to name names because I don't know, but I heard it. And they said that he was funny. You know what I mean? He's a funny actor, but he's not funny to be around or fun to be around in real life.
I know who said it.
Who?
It was Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. There you go.
She
So it
used to be
wasn't The
his
View, but it
neighbor.
was Martha.
Yeah, she used to be his neighbor. And she went on like a podcast
Yeah.
and she was like, I'm going to get in trouble for this because he's my neighbor, but he's just not funny. He's very dry and serious. And I can see that. And when they're talking about his insecurities and all that, it all plays in. But I mean, Scarlett Johansson is like the 10 of tens. Not only is she gorgeous, but she's brilliant. Like she's smart. She's got money. She's a powerhouse. She's
And she's
everything.
clearly cool.
Right. And
Because, I mean,
cool.
otherwise you wouldn't be with Jost.
Right.
I mean, that's a stretch.
Right. She obviously likes funny guys.
Right.
It's a type. I get it. So, goddamn chuckle fucker. That's what she is.
She's a chuckle fucker.
She's a
Let's
chuckle
go,
fucker.
Joe's the chuckle fucker. I'm bringing that up. She's a ha-ha-ho.
She really
She's a
is.
laugh lizard. She's a clown pounder.
But so like, but he cheated on her with Blake Lively, and I get that too because Blake Lively is one of those. She's tricky because
She's tricky. This.
to wrap her on. No, it's because there are women, and I used when I was younger, I probably was very much like this. There's a fine balance between being a free spirit and a fucking total psycho. And if you don't toe the line like very closely, you land on the psycho side. So everybody perceived Blake to be wild and free spirited because she had like out there ideas and she was good at art and fashion and all this. And she's a little bit smart, not really. I mean, she's proven herself to be a dumbass, actually. But the mysterious goes away if you don't have like the brains to kind of go behind it and like play the moves. And I told you she got knocked off of her throne this week because if I have never loved Taylor Swift a day in my life, I loved her this week when she came out and had her press team say, I am not one of your dragons. Like, that's how Delulu Blake Lively is. She thinks that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are the dragons to her Khaleesi and that she's some queen.
Does
Well,
she come from a famous family? Is that what?
no, but she came from money. She lived a very entitled, spoiled little brat life.
And I just thought I remembered looking it up in Dale's actor or something. Must be thinking of somebody else.
It's
Peter
a good thing we
Lively.
have a new tool to play with because I can just pop that up later
You just
for
pop that
us.
right in there.
Pop it in there.
Fire right in there.
But yeah,
But no,
so
but yeah, about Donnie, I mean, what's the latest this week?
I mean, he's just
I haven't really heard too much going on. It's just been a lot of like, actual action between like what's going on. Like you hear people talking about it, but I haven't heard anything
Yeah.
new from like their camps.
Well, there's been lawsuit after lawsuit after countersuit. So I think the latest I heard is he countersued them again. But it keeps happening. And then I heard that the woman who actually wrote the book, It Ends With Us, can't think of her name right now, but
Yeah, I know
fuck.
what you mean. You'll pull it up.
Yeah, but Colleen Hoover, she is actually suing Blake Lively for detracting from the movie with all the
Oh,
bullshit.
wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen anything, but there's allegations
Mm,
that she's going to be suing because there was supposed to be a sequel to this, and
that's
everybody
very
wants the
fact alert.
sequel. But how do you have a sequel? You can't like without. I mean, it's going to look
Right.
weird.
Um, Here's my thing is like, first off, Justin Baldoni, you don't even need to tell me anything. He was with Yaney. That's all I need to know. I don't need any other proof of anything. Now, where does she land on this? Does she come out and be like this?
No, I know. I need to look that up because
Because she's
what's her
usually
name?
like she'll probably take Blake Lively, so she's a fucking,
What's her name? Is
she's a
it Gina
piece.
Rodriguez?
Gina Rodriguez. I feel like she's going to land on, she's like trying too hard. The show could have done
I
with
know
it.
she's really liberal, but I don't know because she worked with him so
She
closely. I mean,
knows him. Yeah, that's her guy.
I don't think that she would, because that was the thing that I was thinking about earlier today is I feel like we would have heard this before because he worked with her so many years and she's not quiet and she probably would have been
Right, right,
part like when Me Too was a thing, right? So,
right. And not only that, but like Rogelio de la Vega said that Justin Maldini was a stand-up guy. So, I mean, what more person do you need
oh
that
my
than
God. If you guys don't know what we're
Rogelio de
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's Jane the
We're
Virgin.
making Jane the Virgin references.
But so speaking of which, Gossip Girl is like my A1. Like that's my
No, I know you
go-to.
love that.
I love Gossip Girl. And back in the day, there were rumors that, Blake Lively was really mean to Leighton Meester. And
To who?
Leighton Meester, she's
Who's
the,
that?
um, she's the counterpart on the show.
Oh, the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Blake Lively
Blair
is,
Underwood. Yeah, I know. Yes.
no, not Blair Underwood,
Yeah.
but Blake Lively's the one character. And then Leighton Meester's the other character, Blair. And they're best friends, frenemies, the whole thing's about, their relationship
Yeah.
and Blake
What?
Lively's relationship with the other kid. But
Shout out, Chuck.
Chuck, I do love Chuck on that show. I do.
Who was
Aw.
just talking about a guilty pleasure being Gossip Girl? Um,
Somebody was just talking about he goes home to his wife and that's what she wants to watch, so he watches it.
yeah. Who was it? What were we listening to that somebody said that?
I feel like it was like a football player or something
Yeah,
though.
I think you're right. I feel like it was an athlete, and they were like, what would be surprising to learn or something, and something about watching Gossip Girl. I think it was Justin Tucker. Yeah.
All right. So we have some food to get ready, and you guys are going to get to see that here. But we didn't have a lot going on, but we just wanted to bring you guys back together and say we are still here. There is a season 2. This is it. This is
We
the
got
start
big
of it.
things coming. Big things are happening. That's all this is. This is just this was us playing with a new app and, just, messing around since it's been a little while since we recorded anything. So, but also to let you know that we'll be back in full swing here then moving forward. So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be good. So,
Yes.
but we got lots of big things planned. Lots of big things coming. Keep an eye out for everything. Follow everything so you can keep up with all my comedy shows, all the stuff we're going to be doing with the podcast and everything else. So,
welcome to Scott's Thoughts. And as I sit here after the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the most common thing in commercials last year was ribs, barbecue Kansas City style, and cheesesteaks. And so this year, the most frequent, and so the food from the year before can predict the upcoming Super Bowl. This is what's known as Matthew McConaughey food theory. And so this year's most things, crab cakes and cheese. So it's going to be Packers Ravens, unfortunately. And the halftime show will have to be a hungrier rapper than Kendrick Lamar. He's skinny. He can't eat anything. I was thinking, no, Fat Joe can't. He's on Ozempic. He's not going to be able to. I guess we'll get Rick Ross out there. He can eat. And DJ Khaled and Rick Ross will somehow be involved in the halftime show. That's all I know, because they'll be eating the said crab cakes and cheese. So those are Scott's thoughts. Have a good one.
And if nobody's told you today, stay trashy.
Deuces.